Yo, what's going on everyone? It is Ranger Flem and welcome everyone to Black Clover episode 40. Oh, it's finally here. I'm so great. It just feels amazing. I'm so excited that, it is sad that this is the final arc we're going to get for season 1 of Black Clover, but at the exact same time, it's a great arc to finish it off and get ready for more of the future of Black Clover, hopefully. But, with this episode, guys, before I, talk about the review on that, I want to talk about the opening. Because the opening right here, I feel like every time for Black Clover, when the opening is out, one, it's really good, and two, they put some Easter eggs in it. So, the music, I absolutely love it. Guess Who's Back? Black Clover with their openings, they have the best openings of 2018. In my personal opinion, they're going to have some competition, but if at least one of the openings don't win for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards next year, for this year, I'm going to be really mad because Black Clover, it's truly amazing that every single opening is always greater than the rest, and I love that so much about the series that they do put a lot of focus on the openings, but at the exact same time, it's just a great thing. The music, the visuals, the Easter eggs that you can find. This is a song that I'm playing over and over and over again just because I absolutely love it. Is it my favorite opening so far? I'd say it's just right behind opening 3, but I want to, kind of more judge that when I get to the final episode of Black Clover, and I'll talk to you guys a little about that, of my favorite openings. But this opening, I love it. The visuals look absolutely gorgeous. I love what they did for each individual character, and I'll talk about some Easter eggs that we see, in part of this opening, because there are some parts that are really quick that you guys really can't see, and mostly if you just stop it, you'll see what's there. So, Asta's character, when, each character passes when they're doing their pose, we see Asta, and afterwards we see him have some black marking and have that red eye, and then it cuts to Black Clover. So that red marking, my indication is that that's a hint going into season 2. Manga readers, exactly what I'm talking about, and even anime watchers, if you guys, just know that side of Asta, that's indicating for season 2, because that's going to happen in the next arc after this. I'll say that right now, and this is the final arc. So is that a big hint towards that they are going to make a season 2 of this? Because I feel like they are really behind the book right now. There is so much stuff in the manga that has really surpassed the anime right now that I'm not going to be surprised that they're going to announce a season 2 at the end of this, or hopefully they do make a season 2, because when you guys see the next arc and that transformation, it's going to blow up Black Clover as it is. So I think that's indicating an Easter egg that there is going to be a season 2 of that, because that doesn't happen in this arc. So I don't know, a little Easter egg, Black Clover. Are you hinting towards the fans that season 2 will happen? But either way, I'll move more to, kind of the visuals and the song right here, which we see this girl individual have both of Asta's swords, which that indicates of what Light was talking about in the cave, that he is not the true leader of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. There's a person that had those swords that, is the master of Light. So is that Light's master? Is that the Eye of the Midnight Sun? The true leader of it? That's a really big hint. Or there could be some hints as well. Could that be Asta's mother? Potentially, I don't know. It's a back and forth kind of thing. You don't really know until we find out. But yeah, that was another big thing in this one. We also get introduced to 2 new characters as well. I've already seen the girl individual of last week's episode, and at the end of this one right here, which is her and her brother, which is named Kaihono and Kaitu. If I'm saying their names correctly, I'm sorry if I kind of butchered them right there. It's been a while since, I kind of, saw their characters in the Black Clover manga, and now we're going to see them, of course, in the anime, which you guys will love them. I love these individuals. They're great characters. They're going to be awesome in the Underwater Temple arc, and Black Clover just keeps expanding their cast, but each member I feel like is a great member to the Black Clover series, so I think you guys will enjoy them as well. One more thing I want to talk about with the opening is that we see this girl individual that is wearing a Black Bull's robe, which indicates, did the Black Bulls pick up a new member during this arc? Who is she? Who is her character? I don't even want to talk about her whatsoever, because if I give you guys a hint or I say her name, it's a massive spoiler, and I want that episode to kind of happen, and then I'll talk about her. But yeah, I'll just leave her as it is. You guys can maybe check out, maybe reveal her identity, Comments down below what you guys think, who her character is. But yeah, that was mostly what we got in the opening. It was a good song, good visuals, and it's definitely up there to, I feel like that could be the opening for 2018. But let's jump into the episode right here. Episode 40, guys, is like I said, it's focusing on the underwater temple arc. You know, all the cast go to this beach, go to the destination so that they could arrive at this place, because their mission is to get this magic gem. The Midnight Sun's goal is to collect these 3 magic gems, which one is actually part of the underwater temple arc, and the other one, of course, Asta has, where Nero got him during, you know, the first kind of mission that him and Noelle went on with Magna. And then we have another one that's not missing. So the Black Bulls, of course, have to go to this, defeat the Eye of the Midnight Sun, or get there first before the Eye of the Midnight Sun, so that they can collect that gem and that they won't have it. And, you know, it's better for the Clover Kingdom to have these instead of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. So that's kind of their, you know, goal right there throughout everything. But this episode, a lot of people could look at it as filler, and a lot of people could look at it as story. For me, it was half and half, but it mostly is the story, because it's more of the story of them going to their destination, and that's kind of what they need to do. With it, we get, of course, a lot of fan service in this episode as well, between Noelle and, you know, Vanessa's character, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be happy about. It was mostly dedicated to Noelle with this episode a lot lately, because, you know, what I always say in my reviews of Black Clover is there's always a lot of character development, or there's always an arc that a character will really surpass. Like, we already seen Magna, we've seen Luck in the dungeon, you know, we've seen Gosh not too lately with the previous arc. So now it's really a lot with Noelle's character right here. It's mostly her, you know, perfecting her magic. We're just going to see a lot more stuff with her. Of course, you know, she's more jealous of Asta, which I love this episode a lot, that, you know, she really wants Asta's attention just because of what happened with Rebecca actually kissing Asta. So, you know, her jealousy is going to grow more and more, but I love that her character is going to be a really big development of what we've seen from her character, you know, like when Black Clover started. You know, she was a character that really just cared about herself. You know, she was always talking about royalty, but now it's a really big hands that she has people's lives on the line. When we get to this destination, it's mostly just the characters having fun. That was really the basic part of it. It was mostly a lot of comedy. It was mostly, like I said, a lot of filler. It was just them having fun on the beach before they actually go on towards their mission, which they're actually not supposed to have fun on the beach anyway. It was mostly just them setting up and hopefully going to the underwater temple arc, which that Yami said to them, and he was kind of mad about this, which Yami actually did work for once, and I like it, because this is more of the Black Bulls getting rep. You know, this is not them, you know, becoming negative 50 stars now. You know, after this arc, or just, you know, at this arc in general, this is going to boost the Black Bulls rep to the people that they are true Magic Knights and what they are capable of. But mostly with this episode, we see a lot of comedy from Magna, we see a lot of comedy from Luck, you know, Noelle and Asta, Vanessa as well. It's just kind of them playing on the beach. There's not really a lot to talk about with this episode. And also just with Noelle's character as well, which I want to talk about more, is her big development. So when Yami says, because going into the underwater temple arc, it's at the bottom of the sea. You know, there's strong currents, no one can get in there unless a full moon rises, which is really rare. And within that week before the full moon rises, that's their only chance to get into the underwater temple arc. But the bad news about that is that they need a water user, and that could shield all of them, because if she goes in there, the water breaks her magic, that means all the Black Bulls members will die. So this is mostly an arc for her of finally perfecting her magic. You know, throughout Black Clover, she did perfect her magic here or there, but it was also sometimes kind of a failure. But this is a time where lives are on the line, and if she doesn't do this correctly, they're all gonna die. So it's mostly gonna focus on her character for next episode, and it was half of this episode here as well, that she can't screw up. You know, this is a big important part for her that she has to accomplish, and if she doesn't, then, well, they're all gonna perish. Something I didn't talk about in the opening though, that I will save this before I end my review of Black Clover, is the Vito versus Asta fight. That is going to be a fight that you guys will enjoy the most, and it's going to be the best fight of Black Clover. And I love it that they're focusing on something so intense for the final episodes of Black Clover, which this fight, guys, it's going to change Black Clover. It is going to change this series so much that I think you guys are like just going to love it. Like, it's going to be an episode where it's going to be intense. There's going to be stuff where characters might potentially die, and it's just overall great. And also, we all got a new ending with this episode as well, which the ending, in my opinion, I missed the old ending. I think the third ending of this series was the best by far. I don't want to say this one is too bad. Like, I don't think it's really bad at all. It just kind of like, I think it's a song that you kind of have to listen to mostly like kind of understand, and maybe you'll like it. It was mostly just focusing on Mimosa, Noelle, and Kohana's character, which they're at a school, them playing, etc. like that. You know, the song was alright, but it doesn't beat the opening song for this series. But with this episode here today, everyone, I definitely feel like I'll just give it a 6.5 out of 10. It wasn't too bad of an episode, but I feel like it's going to be more intense going further in the episode. Also with this as well, the animation wasn't too great. Like, it was a little bit choppy here or there when the Golden Dawn members go into, you know, the swim shop, when they see Noelle, Charmy, and Vanessa. You know, I want them to focus a lot on this animation right here. It's just like I always say with animation, you can't always perfect it every single episode. There's always going to be chops here or there about it. Gordon's character, unfortunately, he's not going to be in the Underwater Temple arc. I love it that at the ending of all of this, you know, when you see all the characters in the stance at the ending of the opening, we see Gordon's hat on the far left side, which I love it that they include him a little bit in that. You know, I always gotta love comedy in Black Clover. But I hope you guys all enjoyed my review here today. Make sure you guys to leave a comment down below, like this video if you guys haven't, and subscribe to the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. But either way, guys, we'll see you next week for another Black Clover review. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time. Much love, and as always, have yourselves a wonderful day.